What's going on, everyone? Hootmoney here with another video for you guys today. Today, we're going to be talking about MULN stock, give you guys an earnings preview, and explain why it is up 26% on the trading day. I mentioned in my live stream that I was ready to go in on call options on MULN because it was just declining way too much, and that was this morning. Now, hindsight's always 2020. I obviously wish I bought those call options now, but I did not buy them for the specific reasons that I thought it would be a bit too risky with earnings being after hours today. Now, we're going to go over exactly why MULN stock did in fact move up today, and it is definitely related to earnings and the CEO speaking. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this content, I kindly ask you drop a thumbs up on the video. It's always very highly appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. If you want to join Hootmoney Trade Alerts, we're up over 30% today, and we had a 100% gain on an AMTX option. So that is the first link below if you want to check out Hootmoney Trade Alerts. But with all that being said, let's get right into the video. All right, so as you guys can see, MULN stock is going absolutely crazy. And I just want to show you guys the tick by tick right here, because now you guys can see how high frequency traders make a ton of money. You can do market cipher on these tips. You can do micro transactions, literally super fast transactions that can capitalize tick by tick on pennies per transaction. But if you compound these transactions over a long period of time, it does in fact end up outperforming. So this is how high frequency traders end up capitalizing on these high volume, high volatile meme stocks, such as what we're seeing in MULN right now. So I just figured I'd throw that out there. As you guys can see, the volume was really brought on here at 13:08. So that's around 1:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and has been moving up ever since. So they do have earnings after hours, and this is related somewhat to the earnings. The CEO, David Michery, said a fairly large company will be buying the company's vans in the close future. If you wanted to watch the full interview, it is on YouTube on Benzinga's channel. As you guys can see, after the CEO announced that a large company will be buying MULN vans, a bunch of options did sweep on MULN. As you guys can see, April 14th $3 calls got a big sweeper alert, and the April 14th $3.50 calls also got swept up. In terms of the actual official earnings report, that will be after hours today. However, they already announced their expected report, as you guys can see right there. And they mentioned that they did strengthen their balance sheet, which was so desperately needed by MULN, because as you guys can see, as of last quarter, they only had $360 on their balance sheet and less current assets than current liabilities. So they were essentially insolvent for the year of 2022, which is why they took on that loan, that infamous loan that drove Mullen's share price down so significantly in the first place. As you guys can see, there was a move down from 15 all the way to 50 cents. They were also definitely hurting here in the revenue section. They posted $0 in revenue last quarter with that really terrible balance sheet, all contributing to the stock prices sell-off. And as you guys can see, they have strengthened their balance sheet, and the CEO also mentioned that they will be having more revenue opportunities as a large company, again, is buying their company's vans. So when the company does finally report its earnings and release those new financial figures, understand that there will be a knee-jerk reaction, and potentially the stock price could in fact crash right back down to where it is before this big liftoff. Given the fact that a lot of the uncertainty from earnings has already been cleared by the CEO himself, I don't really expect too much volatility from earnings, but it can get volatile, and earnings are definitely always a gamble. I'd like to quickly thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Moomoo, a licensed FINRA broker that does absolutely zero payment for order flow. They're running a promotion where you deposit $1 on their platform, you get up to $7,000 in free stock. On top of that, with your $1 deposit, you also get a free share of NEO, which is currently going for around $23 per share. this Neo share expires on March 31st. It's March 30th today. So you only have today and tomorrow to get your free Neo share, or else you aren't going to get literally free $23. So you got to click that link below if you want to check that out. You also obviously get 2 free stocks valued up to $3,500 each with this promotion. Neo share, that ends tomorrow. You got to get that. So with all that being said, promotion links are below. Let's get right back into the video. All right, so here we're getting into the market cipher technical analysis, so we can potentially give a reading on where we think this might be heading. As you guys can see, it did end up spiking up today. VWAP is now pointing back up on that daily chart, meaning that there is more room for it to continue its rally. We did notice that the daily chart, the VWAP started curving back up, meaning that the potential for a bottom was nearing. 12-hour chart as well was showing very, very good signals. As you guys can see on Market Cipher, the VWAP has been pointing up over the past few days, meaning that the bearish momentum has been slowing down. We also got a green means go dot right here. The green means go would imply that we have officially bottomed out. 4-hour chart, this is where we first got the hint that this thing was oversold and there was an opportunity with the momentum clearly on the downside. We also got a nice little green means go on this little wick of a candle right there, which was a very, very good signal. We got our second greens means go, and overall this does imply that there's probably more upside with the VWAP pointing up, red money flow pointing up, blue wave being on the minus side, and it also pointing up. Hourly chart as well does show that there is potentially more upside. However, this wick of a candle is just so big that we're gonna have to go down into smaller time frames to get the real idea. As you guys can see, 5-minute chart has shown an absolute crazy rally right there. It's now showing its first 5-minute red dot. It's also cooling off right here at the fib level. So again, guys, you really need to be trading these fib levels. You need to have them. And then the 1-minute chart also showing a huge rejection here at the fib level. It painted that red X. Understand the 1-minute chart is the least significant chart here on Market Cipher. So what I'm looking for is, again, if it rejects, it'll probably end up trending back down towards 256, but this can all be invalidated again because earnings are after hours, and if it breaks out and could potentially use this as a support level, it can move higher. But again, after hours is earnings. That's not too far away. So overall, I think it should remain pretty flat here, probably trends around this fib level. Then when the earnings does come out, boom, it should pop in either direction. I don't really have a directional sentiment. It is showing a blood diamond here on the red X, so potentially it does move down. But again, I think it's going to just, stay pretty flat until after hours. Moving into the Ortex data, it's up another 14% as of today. I believe this must have came in as the stock price did in fact increase. 22% cost to borrow right there. 33 million shares are currently being shorted. 100% utilization, 38 million shares on loan. So there's really not too much of an excess of shares on loan than the actual short interest, which is pretty good because last time we looked at it, it was like an excess of about 14 million shares. So that has dwindled down a little bit there. So that is a good thing. Definitely still a good short squeeze play. As you guys can see, it's number 14 on the Fintel list, which also means it has room to move up on that list, get back to that number 1 spot. It did move down on this Gamma Squeeze leaderboard, but it does have a 98 Gamma Squeeze score, which is very, very high. 450,000 shares available to be shorted according to Fintel right there. 20% cost to borrow, more or less in line with what Ortex is saying. Short volume ratio has been dwindling down. However, I do believe it's probably going up, as we saw 5.9 million shares were borrowed today. So it'll probably be a 40 to 50% short volume ratio, which is very, very high. And we're still waiting for the March failure to delivers, which are going to be absolutely insane. As you guys can see, February 24th, before this thing really even took off, there was 6 million failure to delivers, and that's on this big spike up right here. So March is going to be absolutely insane. We have not yet got that data. So here we have the unusual whales options flow. This is absolutely insane. We saw call options come in all day today, right? It got kicked off at 10:40 a.m., then one at 11 a.m., but they really started at 13:07, and this was after the CEO did mention a fairly large company will be buying the company's van vehicles. So that's what really kicked off all of this volume that you see starting at 1307, and it continues to move up. There definitely was some puts being mixed in there as well. We pull up the charts, it's 90% bullish, all going for 414, and they're targeting the $1.50 strike price, going slightly in the money, paying a little bit less in extrinsic value right there. If we tack on the bid side, we get rid of puts, we can see are more people buying or are more people selling. As you guys can see, more people are buying, which usually does imply that there is some more upside. As you guys can see, call option volume has spiked up again. Every time call option volume does spike up, it does make the stock a bit more risky, a bit more chasey. But if you're smart and you're diligent and you're buying on these dips, guys, every single time that it has hit these dips, and I've said this in my other videos, I'm not just making this up in hindsight right now. Every single time these dips have been hit, they have been a good buying opportunity for calls, and that's why I was looking into call options for MULN in the first place. So combined with the decreasing call option volume, and as you guys can see right here, there was a huge IV crush all the way down to almost 200% IV from 400% IV, recognizing that the implied volatility dumped off a cliff and does appear to be bottoming out, as well as the call option volume being down from its higher values, does present an opportunity, which was why I was eyeing this thing this morning in the first place as a buy the dip opportunity. And it ended up being a very good signal, but I did not act on it because earnings are always a gamble. This spike up we saw today could have easily gone the other way if the CEO just said something completely different, and nothing about my analysis really could have changed that. So I could have entered, I could have made money, and it would have been a good play, but at the same time, it's a gamble, and those gains would have been attributed to luck rather than skill. So just reviewing what I did right and what I did wrong in this situation, what I did right was recognizing that implied volatility is low, meaning that a spike up could in fact occur very shortly. Also recognizing that call volume is low and we're in an uptrending stock. But what I did wrong was basically assuming that this was a gamble when, you know, the implied volatility and all that was kind of hinting that it's not a gamble and that this could move very volatile to the upside, and that in reality it was probably leaning towards the bullish direction, and that was the more probable outcome in the first place. But that's not what I was recognizing because I just passed off earnings as being a gamble, and earnings is still definitely a gamble. Once they release those official numbers, I definitely expect the stock to move, which is why I'm still going to hold off for now. Anyways, my friends, that's about it for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. As always, I hope that gives you guys a good preview of what to expect in earnings, and also a good explanation of the move that we saw today. It always hurts when you're about to make a play on a stock and then you see it pop off, but sticking to your convictions and understanding that earnings in general could go either way, that's at least what I'm pulling out of the situation, could show that in the future, if you use the same trading strategy and you take that gamble for earnings, it could in fact lead to a loss rather than a very extravagant gain like we're seeing in MULN stock. But at the same time, no risk, no reward, so I'm happy for everyone that is banking off of this gain. Anyways, that's about it for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. As always, drop a like if you guys did, subscribe to the channel if y'all are new, check out Moomoo if you want up to $7,000 in free stock as long as you deposit $1 on their platform, and you get a free Neo share on top of that. But to get your free Neo share, remember, it ends tomorrow, so you only got one more day to go on there, make your account, deposit $1, and claim your free Neo share. Anyways, my friends, that's about it for the video. Find Hootmoney trade alerts with the first link below. We've been doing absolutely incredible. I believe I'm up like 30 to 40% this week. Something absolutely insane. My trading account is literally printing money. So if you want all of my buy and sell alerts, it's that first link below. But with all that being said, that's about it. I'll be seeing you guys next time.